in this video, I'm going to be explaining how to use every dollar to budget and how to get to a point where every dollar has a name and you know exactly where it's going and why it's going there. And as well as by the end of this video, having a structure of how to prioritize what matters most, what we should be spending money on and what we shouldn't be, and how that can have a positive impact on your life and how it can bring you confidence in spending money on the things that we need to spend money on. So in the description of this video, there's a free how to start your next semester strong. So if you're a college student or young adult, go ahead and check that out. So what we're going to be using is this tool called Every Dollar. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, and this is going to be for March of 2022, but it can be for any year. So this is what the web version looks like. There is also a application that I use on my phone almost anytime I make a purchase. And so this is what we're going to be basing this off of. So what I'm going to do as our example here is I'm going to say that we work as a college student, we work part-time, and let's just say that we make $1,000 a month and we're currently living at home. So we don't have rent. We probably don't have that much in terms of food. And so that's where we're going to start off with. So the first step in making any sort of a budget is to know what is your inflow, what's your income coming in, because that affects everything else. So, and the other thing is if you have an income that can fluctuate based on doing freelance work or things that are just inconsistent, you just ballpark at, okay, this is roughly what I expect, and you go from there. So after you've got your income, there's this concept of the four walls. So the four walls are your housing, your transportation, your clothing, as well as your food. So those are the four main things: your housing, transportation, clothing, and food. So those are the biggest priority things when it comes to expenses. So with this, the first thing that we want to look at is our housing. So if we're living at home, we may have $0 or it may be $200 or $300. So let's just say for now it's 0. We may have a phone payment or we may not. So if you have that, that would be one of those things. The other thing is gas. If you don't have an idea, gas prices have been going up, at least in California. So we want to make sure that we're aware, okay, how much are we spending on average? Like, am I going to school? Am I going to work? Like, how much does that average out to? And go ahead and put that in. So I usually end up somewhere around $150 a month currently on gas. So that would be what I would put in. And then for food, you've got, at least for me, even if I'm at home, I'm still probably paying for some of my own groceries. And so for that, I'm going to throw $200 a month for food. That's where I've found if I'm making all my own food, but if we're living at home, that's probably less. It's probably closer to $100. And that's the other thing, is looking at, like, okay, if I'm going to spend money going out to eat, how much of a difference does that make? And what's cool about this too is once you've put in your income at the top here, it shows exactly how much you have left to budget. So, okay, so I've got $100 that I'll be spending on food for lunches or different things while I'm out. The other thing is clothing. Like for me, I know I need to buy some masks this next month, so I'm going to budget, I don't even remember how much the masks were that I wanted, but somewhere around $40, $50 to get new masks, or that can be putting away money towards getting a new pair of shoes. So you can do that on like putting $50 away each month. So that way when you do need new shoes, or you need a coat because it's cold, or you need new shorts because it's getting warm, you can do that. So that would be the main thing. Any sort of a gym membership. I have haircuts in there. I also have a fun/rest money, and also school, which that can be pretty expensive at points. As well as a miscellaneous account, because it can be really easy to miss really simple things. And so we want to make sure that we have somewhere around $50 to $100 in miscellaneous, because sometimes there's stuff that comes up, whether it's a birthday party or something that we forgot about, and having that little bit of cushion in there just makes life really well, or makes life easier to sustain. And the other thing just to know with this is it's not going to be perfect. It's something that's going to move and grow and develop with you. And so the first month that you do this, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. It's going to feel a little bit odd. But as you do it more and more, it's going to actually have this effect of giving you the freedom to be able to spend money on the things that are important to you. And so if you have, you're probably going to have auto insurance. I know when I was younger, is around $100 a month. If you have life insurance, that could be anywhere from $50 to $100 or more. And then if you get your haircut, that can be a thing. So once you've kind of got your bases covered in terms of you've got food, if you do have rent, like that would probably be the rest of this. If you're living at home or you don't have that, then you're going to have a little bit more discretionary money to deal with. And the other thing is you also want to be giving. And so for me, I would be giving 10% of that 1,000, that's 100. And then any other miscellaneous giving that you want to build in there, that can be something that's really fun to do as well. So once you've got those things covered, then a part of the thing that I want you to think through is, can I start investing now? Even if it's not a ton, because it has a massive impact on our ability to grow wealth in the long term. So since I have $420 left here, I'm going to say, what if I can invest $150 to start with in the S&P 500 or in QQQ, which is a small cap ETF? And can I do that through a retirement account? So that's how I'm going to do that. And that's something that's really important to start even while we're in college, if we can, because it gives us the ability to grow wealth over the long term. The other thing is, if you have any debt, then we want to go ahead and pay that down with the remaining amount of money. And what I would do with what's left of the money, of the $270, is I might add a little bit more to clothing. The other thing is I would probably be putting this money into an emergency fund or something along the lines of that. And one of the things that maybe not everyone cares about this, but I've found is really cool, is over here on the right here, it actually breaks down the percentage, and it allows you to see, based on your income, what the percentages are. And like, I don't get anything if you sign up for every dollar. It's just been something that's been helpful to me, and I've recommended to other friends and family. And I realized, I don't know if there's like someone actually breaking this down and doing this specifically for college students or young adults. And I realized, depending on where your income is, this is going to be a little bit different. And at the same time, I know it's been really helpful to me to have this as a structure, to know, hey, about how much am I spending on gas, about how much am I spending in these different areas, and being able to have an awareness of where our money is going and where it's not gives us power, because if we choose to do something different, we can have a different result in the future. So that's what I really wanted to share with you guys, was make sure that you do have a budget. Make sure you prioritize the 4 walls first. So that's housing, transportation, clothing, and food. So those are the top 4 things if you're on a limited budget, like some of us are. And in addition to that, if you've paid off debt, then the next priority is to be investing now. So being debt-free is a part of that. So any extra money or leftover money is going towards paying that off. After that, it's investing. So if you've enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give this a like, especially if it's been helpful for you. And please subscribe to this YouTube channel for many more videos just like this to come. Adios.